2021 was a great year for anime, right up there with years like 2019 and 2011, in fact. You might disagree, but I can assure you, my friend, that the reason for it is most likely because you haven't watched the shows that are fit for you. This year had so many different kinds of good shows that it would be next to impossible for someone to hate every single one of them. But before we start, two things. First, while I do try to be as objective as I can, it would be impossible for me to make a list that everyone agrees with. Hell, I'm unsure about half these rankings myself, so keep that in mind. And second, I haven't watched every single anime this year, so here's a list of highly praised shows that had a good chance of being here, but I just haven't watched them. Now that that's done, let's get to the honorable mentions. Now, this final one is a controversial take, so please don't kill me. I have friends. Ignore my editor. He's a literal psychopath. He eats lasagna cold and likes it. These two are also solid shows, so watch them if you're interested. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to the actual top 20. A well written tale about acting and actors. It has extremely likable characters and it tackles more serious topics really well. It also has amazing music and clever direction on top of that. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, give it a watch. You won't be disappointed. It's a well animated skating anime with a Canadian main character. Do I need to say more? Well, actually, yes, the dub is also hilarious. Just listen to this.
Hey, bitches and bros and non binary hoes! And now!
Coming from the author of Interspecies Reviewers, this semi-horny action series is the most shonen-like seinen out there. The most interesting thing about it is how instead of heroes being weaker but trying to beat the bad guys by outsmarting them, the villains, or in this case the demons, are the underpowered ones who try to do that. Meaning you get some extremely overpowered gods just destroying the demons while they are just trying to survive. That, along with this show's unique and fun to watch art style, makes it a really good watch, even if it does end on a cliffhanger that may never be continued. Just everything you can want from a rom-com. Yes, the pacing should have been slower, but it doesn't even come close to ruining the show. If you want a good laugh or a cute romance, give it a watch. Do you ever watch something that you think it's amazing, but for some reason it's rated way lower than it should be? Because my next pick is well, the second most underrated anime this year. Yeah, you guessed it. It's Demon. Mars Thread is a poetic piece of art. It's a must watch purely because of how unique its direction and script are. The whole show looks like a painting, and the music is fucking brilliant. It's not flawless, it has a pretty one dimensional villain, and gets kind of weak for most of its second half. But if you crave something new to watch, something original, this is a must. Stunning visuals, great music, and lovable story. Like most other time travel shows, it has plot holes, and its villains is not the best. Not to mention the story is not really that original. But if you look past its problems, everything it does it extremely well. I cried, I cheered, I was impressed multiple times during the story, and that alone deserves my praise. Now I know you hate me for not putting this higher, and I will put it higher if someone can explain to me how this fucking crystal works. Now this next one was hard to decide. It's a character driven show with an absolutely amazing cast of characters, to a point that it can be said that it has the best characters of the year. But everything else about it is just okay. And that show is. This show made me cry like a baby. It gave every single one of its characters a satisfying conclusion and put Toru Honda as one of my favorite characters in anime. But the animation, direction, and the story are just not nearly as good. Like, come on, I want to put this higher, but the main plot of the series, the main mystery, the answer to it was it just happened on its own just because fate and stuff. This hurts me more than it hurts you, but I cannot put this any higher. Just a very solid and unique story with amazing animation, and the director and musician behind Meduka Magica working on it. Also, I suspect that I may or may not have found a new fetish. Now, this time, the real most underrated anime this year. Full Metal Alchemist Brother. Do you like a well researched and thought provoking sci fi with some action and a masterpiece of a soundtrack? One that goes above and beyond just being a Godzilla anime? one that gets praised by anyone who actually listens and tries to understand it? Well, according to Mal, you don't. Like, I get it. Understanding the story requires 100% of your attention and can be hard to follow. And the show has way too many characters. But damn it, it's good! If you have any interest in the genre of sci-fi, drop anything you're watching and watch this. You can thank me later. Do you want to know what the perfected shonen formula looks like? What? A battle shonen with amazing pacing? One that has all of its fights well animated and not just the important ones? What do you mean characters explaining their powers actually makes sense? And the characters have development? The villains have well-defined motives? Yeah, you get it, it's good. I am not kidding when I say 86 might be one of the best directed anime I have ever seen. Everything good you have heard about 86 is true. It's a well written story, masterfully directed, with an amazing soundtrack. The characters and story are also not bad or even generic by any means, even if they are the weaker part of the show. There is a reason this show is being called the best adaptation of all time by its fans. There is a reason an episode with nothing important happening in it can still feel like 5 minutes according to most people watching it. Watch 86. It is really that good. Honestly, this is such a good isekai that I suspect it might get the isekai fandom to watch actual good shows. It's a masterfully written redemption story with a flawed yet likable cast of characters, amazing world building, gorgeous visuals, and brilliant music. You have heard about it, you're most likely watching it, and you're most likely enjoying it. And no, the MC being a pervert in a redemption story is not something to complain about. I swear, the word fiction has lost all its meaning. Some people just refuse to accept that not everything is made for everyone. Now that said, Osama Ranking is a show that almost everyone can enjoy. It does get somewhat dark at times, so maybe don't show it to your 5-year-old kid, but other than that, this is one of the most easily likable anime out there. The production is top notch, the soundtrack is heartwarming and energetic, yet at times mysterious and creepy. The style is extremely unique, it has good world building, it's well written, it has well defined characters, and it's just really good. I mean, come on, who doesn't like a good underdog story? Beastars has some of the best written characters in anime. That, along with its brilliant direction and shot composition, great looking CGI, and breathtaking music, is more than enough to make it this high on the list. The lack of romance and some small amount of plot convenience made the second season a little weaker than the first one, but even with that, it still stands as one of the best anime that came out this year. Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1 is incredible. I mean, what can I say about AOT that hasn't already been said before? It did get weaker than Season 3, mostly due to its animation not being as good, but it's still one of the best anime of this year. If the animation was as good as it could have been, this show could have easily taken my number one spot. Have you ever watched a few episodes of a show and thought to yourself, wow, that could have been a masterpiece of a movie? Well, that's how I feel about the first 4 episodes of Megalobox Nomad or Megalobox Season 2. Not to say the rest of it is bad, but the first 4 episodes are perfection beyond anything else that came out this year. It's hard to put into words how good the first part of Nomad is. So just trust me on this one and go watch this amazing series. Not every show needs to be a deep psychological political warfare story to be considered amazing. Sometimes a wholesome and well animated show about dragons that gives you simple life lessons is more than enough. Dragon Maid was the first TV series Kyoto Animations made after the tragedy, and it is extremely good. Simple does not mean bad. Dragon Maid S is peak slice of life goodness with Battle Shonen level of good animation and a top tier soundtrack. Now instead of complaining about a slice of life being higher than Attack on Titan, relax and go watch some cute dragons doing some cute things. Now this one technically shouldn't be here, but shut up, Link Lake is too good to skip. Let me put it simply. If you like something like Death Parade, and you like something like Saints Gate, and especially if you like both, watch this. The show is extremely well researched, it made me genuinely cry like 3 times, and is full of unexpected twists. The soundtrack is amazing and the insert songs are even better, not to mention the gorgeous art style. And the opening, oh god, the opening. I'm not gonna play it, but just go and search the opening on YouTube. It's amazing. It's already hard to find a mystery that has an interesting hook and a satisfying answer to that said hook. It's also hard to find a story that gives every single one of its characters and plot points a satisfying resolution. Well, my anime of the year, Ataxi, does all those things with a ton of different characters, plot points, and mysteries in only 12 episodes, along with having a masterpiece of an ending, amazing social commentary, and some of the best written dialogue anime as a medium has to offer. It's not hard to see why it's my number one pick. Yes, the soundtrack and visuals aren't anything special, but they aren't bad. And when you do everything else this perfectly, not being bad is more than enough. Well, this video took like 25 hours, 30 hours to make in total. I don't know if it was worth it. I guess we just have to see. Like and share so I can buy a better mic, comment to tell me top 10 reasons why I'm stupid, and subscribe to see for more from me. Thanks for watching, and I hope you can stick around just for a while longer.